Heading into the final weekend of the regular season, the Rainbow Warrior volleyball team sits atop the conference standings, one win away from a Big West regular season title. Third-year starting setter Trent Rosenthal dealt with an illness last weekend in San Diego, but the 15-time league setter of the week says he's feeling good going into the final two home matches. Coming up, the 18th-ranked CSUN Matadors will try to spoil things against the second-ranked Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. And with that, we welcome you inside Banco Arena at Stan Sheriff Center, Kanoa Leahy, sitting next to Chris McLaughlin. C-Mac, take us through the Kaiser Permanente keys to the match.
For CSUN, is it peas for dinner? That's what CSUN serve must look like to disrupt Hawaii's offense, the number 2 in the country. And for Hawaii, beware the overtry. Hawaii needs just one win this weekend to wrap up the regular season title. Overtrying, overthinking cannot be obstacles that deter the main goal of the weekend, which is just to win once.
See the two head coaches, Charlie Wade on the right, Theo Edwards in his 4th season atop the program for the Matadors on the left. Hawaii 24-4 overall. They're 7-1 in the Big West. CSUN still without a win in the conference. They're 0-8 with an even 12-12 record for the season. Trent Rosenthal feeling much better than last weekend, getting things started with the serve. Matadors will go back row. That was a soft touch swing by Noah Doffner. So Adrian Rohr gets a chance on the outside. Good chase down save by Doffner. And now Jalen Phillips pounds it off of the fingertips. Hawaii on the attack. Backside, it is a push dink by Kainoa Wade. It'll be played back. Phillips, deep corner and down.
A scrappy team Hawaii's playing tonight. They don't want to let any ball hit the floor. You can see that then. And Phillips is a Terminator. Big-time arm.
The Hawaiian Financial FCU starting lineups will be scrolling at the bottom of your screen. As you saw, Kainoa Wade getting the start at the oppo position in place of Christian Tatriski. Backside, this is Adrian Rohr hitting from the right side. You made a comment before we got things started, C-Mac. You were watching him warm up, and Adrian Rohr, who has gone through a little bit of turbulence here over the last couple of weeks. You thought he had a really good warm-up.
Yeah, he looked really sharp. If he plays anything like he warmed up, he'll have a great night.
And he is serving one. It's a good serve. It will be returned, though, after a great chase down across the way by the setter, Owen Doffner, but he gets up limping, and then it is driven down by Justin Todd. So Owen Doffner, when chasing that one down, and looked a little gimpy after the fact, and still does.
And their trainer is up off the bench wanting to come onto the floor to check him out. That's what's happening right now.
And that would be a big loss. Owen Doffner has been the starting setter throughout. Big West setter of the week back in January. 6'7" redshirt sophomore from Stevenson Ranch, California. The older brother of a guy he sets up sometimes on the outside pin. Younger brother Noah.
And he's set 830 of their 1,000 sets this year have come from him. So he's important to their offense.
Well, he's going to try to tough it out. Gets an applause from the fans. It's 2 serving 1, and Adrian Rohr getting ready to send it over again. Pass by Joao Avila. Middle set, got a little joust, and that ended up being up there. And it is poked down by Todd for his second kill, but they're going to say no. He actually came into the net. And so it is a point for CSUN. Missed opportunity there by Hawaii.
Justin Todd, he was just chomping at the bit to bury that one. Followed through.
See the overall record, 4th season for Theo Edwards, 55-55. Former team captain as a player for the Matadors. High ball set goes to Louis Satanoko and somehow gets through 6 hands of offered resistance, even though the set was tight to the pin.
How about the tear he's been on lately? Hitting for 371 now, big number.
Charlie Wade in year 17, Hawaii has now put together 15 20-win seasons in program history, 5th straight here now with their 24-win campaign so far this season. In fact, they're 2 wins away from tying the program record for regular season wins, which is 26, as that one is put down by Jalen Phillips. Phillips is an absolute monster. 3.9 kills per set. He's hitting 332, 7th in the NCAA in kills.
National team caliber, that's for sure.
Here's the serve by Jordan Lucas. It'll be a backside set, And Kainoa Wade sends it out. Was there a touch? No touch is called. Hawaii players feel like there was a touch. Charlie Wade goes over and he'll grab the challenge paddle, and we'll have our first replay challenge of the night, and it comes pretty early in set one.
One of the things that concerns me about Hawaii so far is they've served too many balls to arguably CSUN's best passer, and that's their libero, Joao Avila. He's really good player, really good passer, good all-around player, and I think they need to keep the ball away from him, not serve to him.
You see the officials here this evening. John Peterson is the R1. You're looking at Wayne Lee. He'll be conducting the reviews. Mark Nakashima and Randy Rubinall, the two-line judges. So let's take a look. Do you see a touch here?
I thought it was over the block, but Kainoa seemed for sure that there was a touch, and maybe that was it right there.
Maybe. I mean,
yeah,
it doesn't get much clearer than that, right?
Yeah.
I'm being sarcastic.
No, that looks pretty good. You're making fun of the fuzzy picture again.
Yeah, I mean,
or my astigmatism.
I'm not sure we can draw any kind of conclusion there from those two angles. This might help a little bit more.
Right there.
Oh yeah, I think you got it there. The super slow-mo cam a little bit higher in the resolution.
Middle finger, left hand.
Yeah.
These are just Noah Doffner just raised his hand and said, you know, I got that.
Yeah, come on.
Let's play.
It's early on. Let's keep the flow going. We're still trying to get warm out there.
That's right.
Make no mistake, though, this Matador team, CSUN, they're 0-8 in the Big West Conference. It is not necessarily indicative of how competitive they have been in a lot of their matches. And you can also point to the fact that they've been dealing with a huge amount of injuries here throughout this season. As the touch is called in CMAC, 1-for-1.
Kainoa, I feel so badly for Theo Edwards. 9 different lineups, at least this year he's gone through. 2 different bone ligaments, knee injuries, sicknesses. He's had all kinds of stuff going on.
I mean, freaky stuff.
Yeah. Jalen Phillips has not been healthy, their best player, until the last 10 days.
4 serving 3. It's a great serve by Wade, and it's an ace. So Kainoa Wade, who even when he hasn't been the starting opposite hitter, he has been extremely valuable as a serving sub, but now getting the start and the serving abilities still on display.
In one of those 3 tournaments he played in this past summer with the national team, he was voted best server in the whole tournament.
That was a 72-mile-an-hour serve there. And then the block is up on Noah Doffner. 3 blockers for Hawaii saying "Aole," and the Rainbow Warriors up 3.
Doffner's got some pretty good genes. His mom played Pepperdine, played at Pepperdine, and volleyball. And so he knows the game. He's been playing it for a long time.
Another good serve. Great pass by Jordan Lucas as he falls to the floor. Phillips, that gets slowed down. But we have a line judge saying that it hit the pin. The initial signal by John Peterson, the R1, was a point for CSUN, but I think he had it backwards possibly. And so it ends up being a point for Hawaii, saying that the hit went into the antenna. But now it looks like we have a challenge from Theo Edwards, who's going to say that it may have gone off of the Hawaii block before hitting the antenna. So here we go again.
Exactly. We'll see what happens here.
Oh, I don't think it touched the antenna. That should have been a play on.
Yep.
So they'll replay this point, you would imagine.
There won't be a replay. I think it'll be Hawaii's point.
But it never actually touched the antenna. So they are going to replay the point. Yeah.
They are going to replay. Oh, because the whistle blew the play.
Yeah, it should have been a play on. It should have continued. So they will re-rack that one, and it'll be 6 serving 3 again. And here it comes from Kainoa Wade. Another good serve that pulls the setter Doffner way off the net. He goes D-set. This is Phillips. The dig by Wade. Rosenthal back set. A joust above the net. Another joust above the net. It stays on the Matador side. Back row, Lucas. Rattles around. It'll be returned, and we play on. D-set. Phillips cross court. Dug up by Wade. Here's Roar from behind the line. Rattles the fingertip. Popped up by Phillips. Left side, it's Doffner. Block back. Hit a roof. Even
Charlie Wade is clapping his hands on the sideline. The bench went crazy. Terrific rally on both sides of the net.
That was vintage Rainbow Warrior stuff defensively. Kainoa Wade in on a couple of digs in that sequence. And then the Manoa Roofing Company with the punctuation. And middle set, did that get above the tape? No, that's a point for Hawaii. And they are on a 5-point run right now. It is 8 serving 3 in set 1.
You know, it looks like, I guess Bill Edwards is choosing not to use his challenge paddle this time.
You don't want to exhaust them too early, especially if you're unsure. It's 8 serving 3. Wade taking a little something off, forces the overpass. Rosenthal, back row to Wall, and he blows it up. Timeout Matadors. Yo, Adrian. Très magnifique. Weather that matter most to you and your community, it's available on all your favorite devices. So Hawaii up 9-3. They have scored the last 6 points, and Kainoa Wade has been serving BBs from the line. Finally, the net keeps it on the Hawaii side. But a strong service run for Kainoa.
He knows he should have kept that in after timeout. That's exactly why Theo Edwards called the timeout, to slow Kainoa Wade down.
There's Grayson Albers, 6'7" redshirt freshman on the serve. Pass is handled there by Louis Sakanoko. Ofek Hazan getting the start in the middle. It'll get played back. And the block is up, and it goes off the hands and out. So give the kill and the point to CSUN.
Love a little side set by Shane Him that time. Right on the money.
And that's the setter, Owen Doffner, who is used to calling his own number. He's one of the more offensive setters that you'll see in college volleyball, as Louis got blocked, but it's covered there by Rosenthal. Here's Wade from behind the line. Block slowed it down. It's pinballed around, but it finds its way out of play. So good start here for Kainoa Wade. It wasn't learned until around the serve and pass time that the decision had been made to start him in place of Christian Tatriski. No reason given. Can speculate, perhaps a little bit of a load management thing. Charlie Wade could, you know how he is. He's the mad scientist sometimes. He could be trying to play 4D checkers here.
That's right.
And trying to get Kainoa Wade a little more action as they prepare for the national postseason. D-set, this is Phillips. And he's able to blast it past the Hawaii block. Phillips, 6'5" redshirt junior from Anaheim, California. 8th in career kills at CSUN. He surpassed 1,000 career kills earlier in the season. He's the 16th Matador to do so. And they will serve him or set him a whole lot.
As much as he wants.
There's the setter, Owen Doffner. And that just misses the end line. And Hawaii gets the point. Doffner seems to be feeling a little bit better. Got up gimpy after trying to chase down one of those loose balls across the way. And Ofek Hazan, the 6'6" sophomore from Israel, with the serve. Just lollipops it over. Outside, and that's Phillips. That'll be a Hawaii point as he hit it into the net. So Phillips hitting from the left side. You see just how sky high he gets on his approaches. But at that time, tried to go wrist away and missed.
Yeah, he touches over 12 feet. Well above the height of the antenna, that's for sure, which is 11 feet.
Middle set, it's tipped over. It'll be played back. Louis on 2. It's dug up, and then Rosenthal on 1. Great effort by Jordan Lucas to try to chase it down, but Fred Rosenthal with the finisher.
What was he thinking? He's on like the 8-foot line, falling backwards, and he finds some way to get that ball down. I thought for sure he was going to pass it up and let somebody else set, but man, he's being aggressive tonight, isn't he?
Feeling much better than he was last week. It was a crazy circumstance prior to that night 2 match against UCSD, as that one is dunked down by Shane Nem, the 6'4" senior from Union City, California. But just before the announcement of the starting lineups, I mean, it was right around when Charlie Wade was handing in the lineup card, Fred Rosenthal started feeling ill. And so he wasn't good to go. He was a scratch, and the freshman, Magnus Hedervik, replaced him. And then Charlie learned that Justin Todd had done something to his thumb in warm-ups, and he said that he probably couldn't go, so he was a scratch. Travell Jordan ends up getting dinged up in the match, so he doesn't finish that match, and he's not available tonight. It was a lot that they were dealing with on night 2 against UCSD. That was a lot to deal with from the service line as Fred Rosenthal deals an ace out of the deck. And Hawaii up 15-7 in the first. The head stat line, and this will tell the story. It's 15-7 Hawaii with the advantage on the scoreboard and the huge advantage in kill percentage right now, 400 to 059.
There's another stat line number. Hawaii 3 blocks, CSUN 0.
And Fred Rosenthal just delivered an ace out of the timeout, rattles the cage on the serve. Bump set going to be tight to the net. It winds up on the Hawaii side. So Quentin Greenwich back bump sets it to Adrian Rohr. He tried to take line, but he missed it. No touch. And it is a point for CSUN. Adrian Rohr, the 6'5" sophomore from Lyon, France, averaging 2.8 kills per set. He's hitting .319. I mean, phenomenal numbers, and yet you look at his last 8 matches, he has 1 double-figure kill match over that span, and he's only hit over 200 twice over that span. What's happening there, you think, C-Mac?
I don't know, just kind of like a mid-season slump, maybe. I think he might not be physically all that right like he was at the beginning of the year, but clearly he looks much better tonight, despite that last error.
Outside, this is Wade hitting from the left. That one goes long. No touch. And I think we might have another Charlie challenge. And so Wayne Lee will take a look. There was a touch that gave Hawaii the point the last time we had a similar challenge earlier in this set.
This is the opposite of the last time we were here. It's against Santa Barbara. It's night number 2. There were no challenges. The match lasted like an hour and 20 minutes. We were out of here by 8:30.
Yeah, I think you can actually see that touch. The left hand right there. I think you can actually see, as blurry as it is, a little bit of that bent back ring finger.
Well, I can see it very clearly because I have astigmatism. You know that. That's a standing joke for me.
Then again, from that angle, it's a completely different thing, and I thought it was a different finger, and who knows?
Oh, man.
Yeah, your eyes will play tricks on you sometimes with some of these replays. Does it catch at all the thumb, maybe?
Might be a thumb there, yeah.
Of Jalen Phillips? Ooh, I don't know. Is there enough there, of course, to overturn the call becomes the question.
Is that a clean field goal there? And,
We are obligated to, once again, remind everybody as announcers, it's part of our contracts, to remind everybody that there has to be conclusive evidence in order to overturn a call.
Yeah. And there are more than just our cameras.
That's right. We have our broadcast cameras. Wayne Lee also has at his disposal the DV Sport camera system. They have several static cams set up around the building. Hawaii 1 win away from clinching a 3rd regular season Big West title. They won in 2021 and 2023. Oh, he does see a touch. And another win on the challenge for Charlie, and a sly smile from Jalen Phillips.
Yeah. I think he was hoping to get away with one there, and not to be.
Phillips and Kainoa Wade were teammates this past summer. Played on Team USA in the Final 6 tournament in Puerto Rico. Outside, this is Lucas. Solo stuff. Kainoa Wade returns it to sender.
Kainoa Wade really seeming to enjoy starting tonight. Look at him pressing over the net without touching it. Great play.
17-8 overpass. Hawaii will play it. They go to Justin Todd, rattles it off the hands and down. And it is all working right now for this Hawaii team. And we're going to have a timeout from Theo Edwards. We'll take a break as well. Hawaii has put together a double-digit advantage here in set one. Welcome back. Tomorrow night we'll be back here for the senior night finale, regular season finale for Hawaii against CSUN in the Hanaho rematch. Military night tonight at the arena, and you see Hawaii wearing the military-inspired jerseys as Adrian War serves it into the net out of the timeout. But Hawaii has been cruising here so far in this first set, hitting 389. CSUN right now flatlining it. They're triple zeros.
And tomorrow night's white night. Oh, did you not get the memo? Oh, this is camouflage night today for you too?
This is gray. This is gray. Oh boy, Trent Rosenthal was tripping on his own shoelaces, it looked like there. And so now the advantage here for CSUN. Jordan Lucas is dug up there by Louis Sakonoko. Here's Wade. That was an awkward approach. Got a pretty decent swing out of it. CSUN playing it back. Outside, Lucas off the block and out. And it's a point for CSUN. And Jordan Lucas, the 6'3" redshirt junior from Hacienda Heights, California. In his second year with CSUN, redshirted last year. Spent 2 years prior to that at Grand Canyon. And he has become quite the story here over the past week. Served by Jalen Phillips goes wide. Jordan Lucas has a video highlight reel of it making the rounds on social media, which has garnished over 50 million views.
Crazy.
Set outside, here's Lucas again, and again goes off the block and down. And Jordan Lucas, what he will do is if he makes a play, he will let everyone know in the building that he did the thing. And many in the crowd, I think, here to see him. And you can hear some of the reaction. Pretty excited, certainly, with what that guy can do, as this crowd also pretty excited at what that guy can do. Opek Hazan with the blasty blast in the middle. And Hawaii up 20-11.
Even Joel Avila, their great libero, couldn't pop that one up. That was well hit by Hazan. The old man of the team.
Good pass there by Lucas. Outside. This is Dauphneur, and he puts it down in front of Greenwich.
And CSUN's starting to warm up a little bit now. They spent most of this first set with half of their starting outside hitters hitting negative. And as a team, we're hitting positive until the last couple of hits.
Pass by Louis. They go D set. Here's Wade. Oh, hanging and banging. Got the touch? No. They're going to say he hit it out. And so that's a point for CSUN. A miss for Wade there. And it is 13 serving 20. That's the first hitting error for Kainoa here in this opening frame. Pass by War. Rosenthal going to send it up to Louis. The tip shot saved. Here's Lucas from the back row. And that didn't get above the tape. And so it is a point for Hawaii. And they get to 21.
Hawaii operating out of the red zone early on here in this first set. Much different than last weekend when they struggled.
So
especially night number 2.
I think we're going to get a challenge here.
Another one?
So this is from Theo Edwards. The initial call was that the ball was hit into the net. Theo Edwards challenging that this was actually off the Hawaii block, and he may have a beef there. And so they're going to review this, and gives us a chance to talk a little bit about the Jordan Lucas situation. And he was involved in a controversy that really created a windstorm last week when you had Irvine commentator Charlie Brandt make a comment about Jordan Lucas during the broadcast. It was not well received publicly, and it garnered a lot of backlash. Charlie would end up issuing an apology. The Big West put out this statement saying that they condemned those specific comments and basically backed up the idea of celebrating student athletes who express themselves in a way that is authentic to them. But the key phrasing there at the bottom of this statement, providing they are not engaging in unsporting behavior. And so we were talking to Theo Edwards about this because it's part of the reason why Jordan Lucas and that highlight video has gone viral, right, with so many views. Was a lot of it was the curiosity of people in response to that story. And so we talked to Theo Edwards about it, and he said, hey, look, there is perhaps no more unique volleyball player than Jordan Lucas. I don't think there is a true issue or problem right now as it stands between Jordan and Charlie Brandt. And he says the thing about it is the overarching positivity that came out of this because of the swelling of support for Jordan Lucas, not only by people within the LGBTQ plus community, but beyond that as well. Theo Edwards saying that has been something that I think is, in the long run, going to be good for everybody involved with men's college volleyball.
Yeah, and Theo said that he's one of the most unique players he's ever coached. Maybe the most unique player on the planet, he said. That's quite a statement, but I know Theo really embraces the fact that Jordan should be able to celebrate as he wants, as long as it's in a sportsmanlike fashion.
Yeah, Theo Edwards actually framed it pretty well. He said the thing about Jordan Lucas is if you walk into a gym in a match that he was playing, when you're leaving the gym, he's a guy that you are remembering. There's no doubt about it. He leaves an imprint. So they replay the point. Here's the D set to Wade. That goes off the hands and out. And Hawaii ends up getting the point anyway.
Give credit to Adrian Rohr there for a great pass that allowed Rosenthal to set Wade. It was not an easy serve to pass.
.21 serving 13. The high toss by Luio. He went for it. 71-mile-an-hour serve stays on the Hawaii side.
So much timing involved when he tossed the ball that high. U-ball Cots used to be able to do it back in 95, 96. But in those days, you could catch the ball and re-toss again. Not so these days.
And that serve goes long. Kainoa Wade able to dodge it in the deep corner. And Hawaii closing in here, 22, serving 14. And Finn Kearney's going to be brought in. The 6'5" lefty sophomore from Phoenix, Arizona. 11 aces on the season. That pass a little tight to the net, but what a setup there. And Shane Nem just annihilates it. Goes off of the dome of Finn Kearney. And a point to CSUN. Heck of a set there, though, by Owen Dauffer.
Yeah, it looks like he held on to it for a while there, but nevertheless, it was perfect for Nem.
There's a pass there by Greenwich. Forces a joust above the tape. And it is Jordan Lucas who wins the joust. And then, of course, the very authentic Selly after the fact. They'll let you know about it. Middle set. Oh, what a layout save there by Goffner. And then Phillips did not have a traditional run-up approach opportunity there, but he was still able to just poke it off of the block. And look now, CSUN within 5.
Might not be a bad time for a timeout. Not give CSUN any momentum going into the second set.
Hawaii led by as many as 10. Here's an overpass. It stays on the CSUN side. Back row set and a solo stump as Justin Todd sends it back to the kitchen.
Justin Todd has a really strong brace on that left hand of his. It's like solid as a rock, protecting his the ligaments that were torn there.
Here's Phillips. Oh, went against 3 blockers. Was able to, with so much force, go off of the hands and out beyond the end line. That is the full approach there of Jalen Phillips. And when you see him launch, it is something to behold.
And he was going up against ex-teammates, Wade and JT in the middle. So a lot of rivalry. They spent a lot of time together this last summer, those three guys.
Here's Boaz Surson from Israel. He spent a lot of time with Ofek Hazan on the other side. Here's Louis from the back row. And he hits it long. And all of a sudden, CSUN on a 5-1 surge back within 4. Now, we were talking about Boaz Surson actually served in the Israeli military with Ofek Hazan.
Yeah, they're best friends. I said, you talk in English or Hebrew when you see him today? He said, oh, we'll definitely talk Hebrew.
Outside, this is Wade, and he rattles it through the hands and down. And so that puts Hawaii at 24. It's Aloha ball here in the first. But CSUN perhaps finding a little bit of traction here over the course of this last stretch of the first frame. But it will be Adrian Rohr serving for the first. Into the net it goes. That is the 4th service error for Hawaii compared to 2 aces.
I think he felt like he had a 5-point differential there, and that he was just going to try to finish with an ace. He hit that one hard. Might have been an out ball there.
Cross-court set goes to Louis, and he goes off the block and into the seats. And set 1 is Powell. Hawaii takes it 25-20. Cooled off a little bit down the stretch after starting off red hot, but they hit 296 nonetheless with 5 blocks. Set 2 coming up. The numbers presented by Long's Drugs, 141-5. That is Hawaii's record when winning set 1 since the 2020 season. That is a 96.6% success rate. This season, in such scenarios, they are 22-0. Hawaii taking the opening set 25-20. And while we're at it, our Hawaii Honda dealers highlight reel, here's part of the reason why CSUN was able to at least make that first set a little less lopsided, and that is the play of Jalen Phillips. As expected, he's delivering 5 kills, hitting 400. But on the other side, Kainoa Wade getting the start at the opposite position for the first time in some time, and he matches Phillips' production. 5 kills, 1 error on 8 swings. He's hitting 500. We saw him defensively with a couple of digs, a block right there, solo style. He even had a service ace, C-Mac.
Yeah, he served more balls than anybody else. He served for more points that particular set. So Kainoa just sort of sliding right back into what he was doing in the beginning of the year when Katrisky was hurt again.
Well, while they get the lineups sorted out, I would like to take a moment to send a congratulations out to a good buddy of ours, John Grobe. He is an Iolani alum, but also played volleyball at Pepperdine. He and his wife, Michaela, just welcomed a new baby boy to the world yesterday, Hayes Kaikena Grobe. And so he joins their first son, Jack, in the now ever-expanding Grove family, and we wish the Ohana the best. I know John is watching, I think, from the hospital room still, so we want to send them our best and our congratulations.
Congratulations, Johnny.
So they're ready to go here for set 2. And it will be Jordan Lucas doing the serving. It crawls over the net. Good reaction there by Rosenthal. D-set goes to Wade, goes off the block and out. And so Kainoa Wade continues his tear here to start set 2. I mean, how good is that? I mean, this is a guy who Charlie, his dad and head coach, said, you know, may have, because this is his first college year where he was playing regularly as a starter and was so red hot, was a National Player of the Week. Charlie Wade felt like maybe he kind of hit the wall a little bit, as a lot of underclassmen tend to do. Here's Adrian Rohr against a triple block, and he gets it home. And so that introduced, or reintroduced, Christian Tatrisky, who was himself dealing with some injury, and then Christian goes on a tear, and Kainoa is more relegated to a service sub type of role. But how impressive is it to see him doing what he's doing here back as a starter tonight? It's
really impressive because he has not been hitting on the outside. He's been more of a serving specialist. So playing with that starting group on a regular basis, it's been a long while since he's been doing that. The other thing about Hawaii that's impressed me tonight, is the fact that Hawaii's serving has been exquisite. They're pulling the setter off the net almost every time.
Joel Favarim From Brazil in there at middle for CSUN as Adrian Rohr rips it off the block and out. Adrian Rohr, a guy who Hawaii will need as they get ready to turn the page into the postseason, the conference tourney next week in Irvine, and then, of course, the NCAA tournament after that. They're going to need Adrian Rohr to be top level if they are going to make a serious, deep run contending for a championship, as that is pounded down the line by Jalen Phillips. We mentioned played with Kainoa Wade for Team USA in the Final Six. Phillips actually got hurt in the very first match of that tournament, and ironically, that opened the door for Kainoa Wade to take over that starting oppo role, and he performed incredibly in that event.
Interesting that the two opposites in this particular match played together all summer and spent that kind of time together, and were subbing in and out for each other. Great story.
Phillips also a cell and molecular biology major, my old major.
Same as your major. Yes, I remember that.
Four serving two. Oh, what a serve by Todd, and it hits the jumbo screen above, winds up on the opposite side of the net. When it does that, it's an out ball and a point for Hawaii. That was a missile by Justin Todd.
Speaking of majors, by the way, how about this major from Owen Goffner? Mechanical engineering. Not an easy one, which I know you had that as your double major,
That was
wasn't
my
it?
minor. And that one goes long. That was a nifty move by Joao Avila, the 6'1" sophomore libero, also from Brazil, from Rio de Janeiro himself. Just dodging out of the way like Keanu Reeves in The Matrix that time.
Oh, by the way, you can also hit outside.
Yeah, actually took over the primary libero position just a few matches ago. Punches that one in the air. Right side, it's Phillips. Block slowed it down. So now Rosenthal going to try to push it outside to Louis, but he goes off of 1 foot. Didn't quite have the set in the right location. Here's Jordan Lucas. That's popped up in the air. Played out of the official stand by Greenwich. And a free chance here for CSUN. They go backside. Phillips joust above the tape, and he wins the battle. It was Louis trying to counter, but Jalen Phillips just getting the leverage.
He had the leverage in the last push. Watch Greenwich go into the official stand here, barely pulls it out. And here's the push joust at the net.
So Hawaii up one. One hand back set, Kainoa Wade. And Tread Rosenthal. Those are some of the plays that have helped to amount to putting a resume together this season that has placed him as one of 8 semifinalists for AVCA Player of the Year. Hoffner sets it up to Phillips. Oh, but Louis Sakonoko was there, sealed the line. He had Hazan jumping up next to him, and they're able to stuff Jalen Phillips.
Hawaii's block much more in sync tonight than they were last week against UC San Diego.
Away, that was 69 miles an hour on the attempt from the line. Serves it out. And 5 serving 7. And so here is Favarim. Missed several weeks due to a patella issue and has just kind of re-entered the mix. And so he hasn't been playing a whole lot, serves it into the twine there, but part of the depth they have at middle, even though they are having to play guys at the middle position that weren't necessarily intended to be middles. Case in point would be Grayson Albers, the freshman. That's Nem getting blocked back. Right side, it's Phillips, blocked and roofed, and that was Rohr.
Adrian Rohr pressing over the net, taking that line away, blocking one of the United States' best players, Jalen Phillips. Look at Rohr reaching over, taking that seam away. Wow.
I know a roofing company putting in work here so far tonight. Outside, here's a Lucas by the block, dug up by Rohr. And that will wind up a point, despite the effort of Kainoa Wade chasing it down into the bench area. And Lucas now with 3 kills. He's hitting .250. Lucas's dad, Jeff, by the way, interesting fact here, played basketball at the University of Hawaii. This was in the mid-'80s. It was right around the time of the transition from Frank Arnold to Riley Wallace. Jordan's older brother, Jared. We've actually seen Jared, who was a basketball player for Oregon State on a team that went to the Elite Eight in 2021, and then after that at Nevada, and both of those teams played in the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic. And so we saw Jared Lucas play in this arena. But the roof is up again for Hawaii, and they have formed a dam there above the tape.
And once again, I think Adrian Rohr got most of that. He's on a tear right now, and Hawaii servers once again pulling CSUN setter off the net almost every time.
Outside, here's Lucas, and he's able to get it past the block, and he lets out a celebration after the fact. He grew up in a basketball family, obviously, and did play basketball primarily, and there was a time as he was sort of going through the decision of whether to focus more on volleyball or basketball in high school. There was a moment where he basically had to talk to his pops, Jeff, and say, hey, look, I want to focus on volleyball. And he said, you know, his dad, who turned into a pretty notable high school basketball coach, his dad was pleading with him, like, give it a couple more years. Eventually, though, he did agree to let Jordan pursue his passion of volleyball. Here's Doffner from off the net. What a diving save by Louis. Here's Wade, and he's able to just place it off with a block and out. He tools it. Hawaii gets the point, but brilliant defense guarding the back line by Louis.
Louis Sakanoko promised us he'd have a great match tonight. Said he'd hit over 400 if he could.
Timeout, CSUN. It is a blocking paina here tonight in Manoa. Hawaii with 7 total team blocks for the match. They have 3 here in this second frame alone. And a couple of very impressive solo stuffs. Never easy to block Jalen Phillips, let alone one-on-one, and Adrian Rohr did it.
You know, it's quite the blocking package they put together tonight. They seem to be lined up the right places, the right time. Great job by the coaching staff.
13 serving 7. High and away it goes. This is Doffner. The Doffner to Doffner connection. Older bro to younger bro. Gets it done. Owen Doffner attending Hart High School in Newhall, California. Noah Doffner, he prepped at West Ranch High School in California.
One went to private school, one public school. Just had different visions about where they wanted their path to go.
So Sarah gives it right back to Hawaii. Here's Adrian Rohr, 14 serving 8. Good serve. What a pass there by Avila. D-set Phillips. Block slowed him down. Hawaii will play it back. Back row Rohr. And Adrian Rohr has a handful of kills, and that gets Hawaii to 15 first. He may have seen some struggles in recent weeks, but right now Adrian Rohr hitting 500. The Hawaii military-inspired jerseys worn tonight will be auctioned off to support the men's volleyball program and its student athletes. Scan the QR code on your screen or visit hawaiiathletics.com to submit your bid. The auction is now open and will close Monday at 6 p.m. Fans can participate in another opportunity to own match-used jerseys while contributing to a worthy cause. Registration for the auction is free. Proceeds, again, directly benefit the men's volleyball program. 15 serving 8 out of the timeout. CSUN out of system. Doffner, 3 blockers against him. It'll be saved by Lucas. D-set Phillips by the double block on one knee, saved by Rosenthal. High ball set goes to Louis, and he tools the triple block.
You know, Louis Sakanoko is really getting good at seeing how the block is lined up and knowing when to hit hard, when to just trip it off the end blocker, when to tip it deep into the corner. And that's why he's like hitting 400.
Oh, Adrian Rohr tried to pull the string that time, pulled it a little too far back, and winds up in the net. Hawaii hitting 778 here in set 2. 7 kills, no errors. CSUN hitting 176, 9 serving 16. Good pass there by Rohr. Middle set, and that's Justin Todd. What'd they do there? Because that was a little bit of a different look.
Yeah, that's a little, what they call a 31 or a gap set between the left side blocker and the middle. So Todd does not go directly at the center, and makes it really hard for middle blocker unless they see out of the corner of their eye where that middle blocker is coming from. Great pass.
Middle set, Favarim unloads. We're talking about the injuries. He was one of the guys who was laid up due to the patella issue. They have another middle blocker near Eitan, suffered a concussion. Then it was found that he had significant tears in the fibers of his retina. And so he missed time, and he's just now starting to get back. Here's Jalen Phillips, dug up there by Rosenthal. So War sets up Sakonoko. Did he get a touch? No touch. And it goes long, so point for the Matadors, 11 serving 17. Not to mention a middle blocker that got hurt in the fall, and that was Stilian Delibosov from Bulgaria. And we actually saw him talking story with Christian Tatriski prior to the match, but he was a guy who was an ABCA All-American honorable mention and first-team All-Big West selection last year as a freshman. Hasn't played this year because of that injury in the fall. So Theo Edwards' squad has gone through it. Oh, the roof is up. Ofek Hazan and Tred Rosenthal.
Nowhere to go for Lucas that time. Forehands across and penetrating over the net and down. Watch how straight down this ball goes. I think it hits Lucas in the foot.
Served by Wade. Following that up into the netting as we return to live action. Yeah, that double block, and you rarely say this about a double block, but that double block, I mean, that eclipsed the sun that time. There was literally nowhere for Jordan Lucas to go.
Yeah.
Pass by Greenwich is an overpass. Oh, but the block is up. Lucas tried to take advantage, but the 6'11" setter across the way, Tred Rosenthal, wasn't having it.
A little bit of a size mismatch there, don't you think? Yes. How alert of Tred to go in there and help out in the middle. Not every setter thinks of that. So that's a little bit of volleyball IQ there that Rosenthal's got on the rest of the game.
Another service error for Hawaii. Yeah, how about 5 blocks tonight for Tred Rosenthal? How about 5 blocks for Ofek Hazan, who just always puts in a yeoman's effort no matter what. But Tred Rosenthal, who actually came into this match leading the team in solo stuffs. And that's just one of the things he brings as a setter, what makes him so unique. Adrian Rohr trying to go cross court but misses wide. And so the point goes to CSUN. They're down 14 serving 20.
Adrian Rohr trying just a little bit too hard there. The set was pretty juicy right where he wanted it. He gave a thumbs up to Rosenthal after the play saying, that's where I wanted it. He just mishit it.
Pass by Louis, one-handed dump shot. No-look style there by Tred Rosenthal.
Is that highlight reel worthy? What do you think, Camilla?
That is National Player of the Year semifinalist worthy right there.
There you go. Difficult play right there at the net. Tough to set with 2 hands, but with a 1 hand, you can do the little back dump shot.
And you hear the ovation. This is for Vladimir Kuber, the lone senior on the roster here on senior weekend. And I guess they'll have to rev up the crowd again because Theo Edwards signaled for a timeout. We'll be back. Welcome back. We're going to be in Irvine next week, bringing you the entirety of the 2026 Big West Men's Volleyball Championship. All matches on Spectrum Sports starting on Thursday. And yeah, they're making some noise here in the arena. Vlad Kuber with the jump float. Outside, it's Lucas, the tip. Diving save Sakonoko. Second touch by Rosenthal. We play on. Outside, here's Lucas again. Cross court and down. And that was a thin slice of bread.
Great wrist-away shot that time by Lucas. He had only 1 blocker up. You see Justin Thomas committed in the middle attack. Left Lucas with a one-on-one on the outside. Easy kill.
Rosenthal, tried to go over on 2. Doffner was there, and then Rosenthal got blocked back. So Hawaii scrambling a bit. Here's War off of 1 foot, and he gets it down. Give the assist to Sakonoko, and the French connection comes through there.
They seem to be able to set each other quite often because, especially if Quentin Greenwich ends up making the dig, then the other, or if Rosenthal makes the dig, then the two Frenchmen will set each other.
Layout pass there by Lucas. Doffner trying to plug it through the block, kept alive by Wade. Quick reset for him down the line, and a good up by Avila. Doffner off of the set from Lucas, but he goes long. No touch up front, and it is a point for Hawaii. So some good scrambling on both sides of the net here in this last stretch. And now Noah Doffner gets up, walking somewhat gingerly.
Noah Doffner struggling from the floor right now. 2 kills, 4 errors, hitting negative 200. Normally he's a plus hitter on the outside.
Yeah, CSUN second in the Big West and 8th in the NCAA in kills. They have the capability to hang with people offensively. It's defensively where they have struggled statistically this year. Back row, that's Louis. And he sends it long. No touch called. And Sakonoko at first looked up at the R1, John Peterson, and then caught himself, knowing that he's not the floor captain. And he pulled himself away, turned to Charlie Wade and says, we need a challenge on that. And Charlie Wade will issue one.
Normally with a 23-16 lead, Charlie would not be wasting a challenge, but Louis was so emphatic that there was a touch there. Hard to tell there. It might have been a touch right there.
Yeah, it looks like there's a touch right there.
Yeah, that's an obvious touch. I'm surprised the top referee didn't catch that. He might have been blocked out.
Wayne Lee taking another look at this. This is the 87th meeting between these two programs. Hawaii with the all-time series lead, 63-23. They have a 33-8 advantage in matches played here in Honolulu. Last year they actually split, where CSUN won the first match up in Northridge by way of a sweep, and it was a bit of a shocker down the stretch of the season for Hawaii. Hawaii was able to right the ship on night 2 and return the favor with a sweep, but that was a bit of a wake-up call for the Rainbow Warriors. And a touch is called. Aloha ball in the second. Great serve there by Rosenthal. Back row, Lucas, the tip. War with the punch up. Bump set's going to send it over the net. Owen Doffner with the swing, but it'll be played back. Here's Kainoa Wade trying to time it. Gets blocked, the cover by Tread. Sakonoko goes to War, and he is smothered.
Solid block by CSUN that time. They finally pick up their second block of the night to Hawaii's 9.
And now Shane Nem in his second year with CSUN on the serve. Backside, it's War. Bounces it off of the Terraflex and provides the exclamation point at the end of set 2. Hawaii takes it 25-16. They hit 391. How about over a handful of blocks in set 2 for Hawaii? They'll have a chance to crack open the broom closet. Statistics. Hawaii up 2-0, and pretty lopsided in most of those categories, C-Mac.
Absolutely, yes. And I think the biggest one that I think is significant is digs. Look at the digs. 20-11 in favor of Hawaii. They're just playing some tremendous defense, also serving well. And guess what? Charlie Wade likes to have his team play efficiently. They're averaging 8.5 errors per set, right where Charlie likes it. Or less than that, but certainly no more than that.
Well, you know he likes the fact that his son Kainoa is playing some pretty high-level volleyball here tonight, having been inserted into the starting lineup at the opposite position in place of Christian Tatriski. Again, no reason given to us as to why that move was made, but no knocking Kainoa because he has risen to the occasion.
He really has. Just slip right in there like an old shoe.
Yeah. Yeah, looking very, very comfortable out there. 8 kills, hitting .438, just 1 hitting error. And a good night so far for Adrian Rohr, and of course that's wonderful to see. 7 kills, he's hitting .333. How about 4 digs and 2 blocks for the Frenchman? It is Trent Rosenthal here to get things started in set number 3. Outside set, this is Phillips. Tried to hang up in the air for a little bit. The levitation, though, did not deliver. He actually hit that ball, I think, while he was on his way back down to earth.
One thing Hawaii can ill afford to do is take their pedal off the metal, because earlier tonight, Long Beach State was up 2-0 on Irvine and blew a 2-0 lead. 1-5, but clearly all these teams can beat each other, including the 0-8 team in the league.
Here's the thing about the Big West, right, is on any given night, these teams have enough pieces that they can put it together and they can spoil some plans. Pass by Greenwich is a good one. Backside set, here's Rohr against a double block. Well, he hammered that, but it was a great dig by Doffner. Dink there by Lucas will be played back. Middle set, diving pancake save by Avila from the back row. Doffner puts it into the string. So Hawaii gets the point.
Doffner really struggling from the hitting standpoint. He's had a couple of those. He's hit into the string from the back row, and he's got blocked a couple times.
Middle set, that's Robert Eam. He is dug up by Rosenthal. Here is Sakanoko. Trying to push it through the block. Now from off the net. It'll be played back. Lucas. Like he went off of 1 foot that time, but he missed the floor. And another situation here with the setter, Owen Doffner, who seems to be favoring one of his legs there, maybe a knee or an ankle. He was limping around after that last point. And that's an ace by Adrian Rohr. He got surgical with it.
They can ill afford to lose Owen Doffner. Here's a nice little check-up short. Got his little pitching wedge out there. Dropped it in.
What a pass by Avila as he's falling to his wallet, and then Phillips just rising above.
He might have gone OTT there, not sure, but it looked like it.
He might have gone OTT the arena.
Yeah, he really gets up. Quite the athlete.
Two serving 4. Rosenthal going to go middle, and that's Justin Todd. And another hammer from JT. 4th kill for him to go along with a pair of blocks, and now he retreats back to serve. So
again, give a lot of credit to Quentin Greenwich that time with another perfect pass. He's magical back there.
Yeah, he has just been phenomenal in serve receive. A night where he only has 2 digs, and yet his imprint is felt all over this match. Backside, Phillips dug up on 1 knee there by Rohr. He'll get the set from the back row, and he explodes on it.
Rohr looked good in the warm-up between sets 2 and 3 as well. I forgot to tell you that. He was good in warm-up before the game, and then how about that dig? He often asks for it right back. If he makes the dig, he'll let Tread know. He'll give an audible. Give it back to me. In French, of course.
Look at that stat line as Todd sends it into the net. Now 8 kills, 5 digs, an ace, and 2 blocks for Adrian Rohr, and hitting .357, a first-team AVCA All-American last season. Pass there by Wade, middle set, and Hazan hits it into the netting. So a couple of self-inflicted wounds here, last 2 sequences for Hawaii.
Yeah, I think the set selection was the right one. I think Hazan tried to do a little bit too much with it.
So Jalen Phillips Little serve, passed by Greenwich on the money. Back row set, it's war again. And he is locked in right now. 9 kills to lead all Hawaii hitters.
As James Anastasiadis said during the break, he said Roar looks more confident, more loose, more like the early season Adrian Roar we all have known to grow and love.
Here's Lucas, blocked and roofed. Oh, was sealed up again. Rosenthal and Hazan.
With Hawaii's back row defense, well, they're digging over 20 digs so far, and their front row blocking, that's 10 blocks now. Pretty solid defense.
Popped up in the air by Doffner. D set off the mark, and so Greenwich has to slide in, but a chance for Hawaii. Oh, the set was too far beyond the pin, and Sakonoko wasn't able to do anything with it. And here's Jordan Lucas. 5 kills, 5 errors for Lucas right now. He's sitting on triple zeros at the moment. Outside set goes to Sakonoko, and he just tucks it past all of the hands trying to prevent him from doing so.
He's uncanny at doing that right now. He either gets the joust or he gets the wipe off, or that one just goes down in the court because they were taking too much cross court on him.
Another set that wasn't exactly precise. The timing a little off as well. Well, that was precise.
It says 62 miles an hour, but it was more like 72.
Check this thing out. My goodness.
It's filthy. Nasty.
5th ace for Hawaii. We got 5 different guys with an ace here in this match. Middle set, Hazan, and that time caught it flush. And Hawaii doing the same thing it has done the previous 2 sets. Surging midway and forcing an early CSUN timeout. 11-5, Rainbow Warriors. Welcome back. Ofek Hazan getting the start tonight. Travell Jordan came down awkwardly on one of his knees last week at UC San Diego, but Ofek Hazan, when they have needed him, whether it be due to injury or whether Charlie Wade just feels like the matchup is better, he just always seems to be a steadying force.
And he's one of the older gentlemen on the team as well. Brings some maturity.
And Kaufman being brought in now at outside hitter. Yeah, Travell Jordan, they said that he's feeling better. He actually was sick this week in addition to dealing with the knee injury, as CSUN is forced to deal with that. That was an absolute smoke show by Louis Sakonoko.
He's starting to get his timing down now, isn't he? Because when he tosses it so high, it's really tough to time it.
Oh my goodness. He did it again.
This is reminiscent of his debut when he played against Edward Waters. And he served up 9 aces. Another nasty one. Wow.
So you want to be a college volleyball player, huh? Try to stand and serve receive against that. Then he pulls the string, forces Avila to lay out. And then the block is up there on Kaufman. 2-hand save by Louis. He'll get the set from the back row, and that time misfires just long. Oh, but he is hitting some rockets here tonight.
He wanted that badly. And Tread knew that he wanted it.
Here's an M on the serve. 6 serving 13. Over on 2 goes Tread. Caught him napping. And Hawaii up 14-6. It's all working again for Hawaii. You know, right before that play, Hawaii only hitting 167, but you got the 3 aces by Louis. He's got a hat trick from the service line. Now Hawaii with that put down hitting 231, but they're getting it done in so many other areas. Look at Hazan layout. Chased down on touch 2 by Sakonoko. 3 chance here for CSUN, and that is Owen Doffner calling his own number, but missing wide. We mentioned he's offensive for a setter. 10 or more kill attempts in 4 matches this year. That one goes awry, though. Hawaii gets the 15 first in set 3. Louis Sakanoko, one of his specialties is when he is calibrated from the service line, he can make it a tough day for opposing teams. And here in set 3, he has been doing just that. Not 1, not 2, but 3 service aces here in the 3rd.
Hit a seam, hit a corner, and hit one so hard that the libero bumped it over Hawaii's back line. Come on.
Near ace there by Hazan on his jump floater, and then he comes up with the big. D-set goes to Wade. Oh, the jump was a little off time, and he hits it out. How about the defense by Opek Hazan the last few plays?
He's wanting to stay on the court. That's why he keeps his serve in.
There's Doffner. Diving pass by Greenwich. The one-hand back set by Rosenthal, but nobody was there. He was just trying to keep it alive somehow.
He forgot that Kainoa Wade was back row. He couldn't set him on the 1-foot line very easily.
It would have been an Olympic-level broad jump by Kainoa Wade on that one. Justin Todd, oh, that was a smash. One-on-one matchup with Favarin. And Hawaii has CSUN doubled up here in the 3rd. Again, Hawaii with a victory tonight, they lock up the Big West Conference regular season title.
And the first seed in next week's tournament.
Correct. That's a big deal. High ball set goes to Phillips. Off the block. Look at the hands there by Greenwich. Over on 2 goes War. Did he get the touch? They're going to call a double contact on Roar. So that's been kind of an interesting storyline here in both men's and women's volleyball. That second touch has been allowed to be a little bit messier as long as it stays on your side of the net. But if it goes over, it has to be clean. And the officials ruling that that was a little sloppy that time, and so a double contact. That was a single contact there by Justin Todd, but a hard one at that.
That one was very legal.
So Louis goes to the bench. Finn Kearney into the match.
I like the sub. Giving Finn a chance to show his wares on the outside.
And then Adrian Roar delivers an ace, his 2nd of the match. It has been a block party. It's also an ace party here this evening for Hawaii.
Where's his sign, the French sign, you're toast. I'm French, you're toast.
Kainoa Wade may have seen some of his life pass before him there, as that one was a little too close for comfort from the service line. Hawaii with 11.5 total team blocks in this match and 8 service aces, and handling that overpass was Jalen Phillips. And so if you're CSUN, you're 0-8 in the Big West, you've had some competitive matches, you've been dealing with adversity, injuries, just freaky things that have been hampering Theo Edwards' squad here throughout the season. And here you are, you're in set 3. What are you thinking about? Just trying to see if you can get a little momentum, even if you can't storm back here in the 3rd. Are you starting to think about tomorrow's match at all?
Absolutely. And they also, their season will be lengthened next week in the Big West tournament, because all the teams get in. Even if you're 0-10, you get in the tournament. It's
a clean slate come Irvine.
But he knows his team is getting healthier and healthier, and that's a good sign.
Here's Vlad Kuber, the 6'3" senior from Torrance, the lone senior on the roster. He'll be celebrated tomorrow night. Outside, it's Lucas, and he's able to get the touch and get the kill. Vlad Kuber, an incredible story, comes from a family of stuntmen. His father, a career stuntman, and Vladimir Kuber, following in his footsteps, already has had roles in movies like Iron Man and Alice in Wonderland, and he is expected to go full force back into that industry once volleyball is popped. Here's Kearney.
They're not sure how to block the outside hitter now. He's left-handed.
So perhaps we'll get a little bit more of an explanation from Charlie as to what was transpiring behind the decision to sit Christian Tetrisky and put Kainoa Wade out there. But we're seeing Finn Kearney getting some action here, and see the back row set. And we're going to have a violation against CSUN. It looks like
3-meter line.
Kaufman stepped on the 3-meter line.
Yeah.
But is this a situation where Charlie's just thinking, hey, look, let me see if I can sharpen a few more of these tools before next week? I'll get your answer on the other side. Timeout, Matadors. Welcome back. 21-12. Hawaii up here in set 3, just 4 points away from claiming a Big West Conference regular season championship for the 3rd time. They won it in 21 and 23. Out of the timeout, Wade into the string.
Wade and Roar really struggling, and they're serving tough at least one time, but then I think they each have 4 errors each to go along with that.
Rosie goes middle to Hazan, but he's denied. It was Owen Doffner getting a good chunk of that.
Great block by Doffner. He's the guy that Owen, his coach says, you know what? He's the first guy in the gym, the last guy to leave. One of the hardest workers around.
Bernie, good punch-up save there by Avila. Outside, and Kaufman, forget about it. Just nowhere to go. That has been a big old block for Hawaii tonight.
As I said earlier, their front row and back row defense has been almost flawless.
D set, here's Phillips. Deep corner, but long. And that is the 6th hitting error for Jalen Phillips. And after a really hot start for him in set 1, he has cooled considerably. Ten kills, hitting 143 for a guy averaging almost 4 kills per set. Oh, nearly an ace there for Finn.
That was very close. Phillips got that hot start because he was getting, I think, some really good sets because the passing was better. But the passing really started to degrade after a while, and Phillips was getting 2 blockers up on him all the time.
And there's Tread doing the thing again, going over on 2. And catching him off guard. It is Aloha ball for a regular season title here for Hawaii.
Very good crowd standing up. I think around 6,700 tonight, 8,000 tickets sold.
And Magnus Hedervik, the freshman setter from Norway. Maybe another tool being sharpened here by Charlie Wade. Good pass by Lucas, middle set. Oh, that one put straight down by Favarim. Didn't really get a chance to get your thoughts, though, on seeing Kainoa out there, seeing some action for Finn Kearney here in the 3rd. Is that maybe the thinking possibly by Charlie?
I think so, yeah. I really think he is trying to, he said you don't have depth unless you use it. So he's really walking the talk with that.
Doffner serving, still Aloha ball. They remain standing here in the arena. D set, here's Wade. And this one is Powell. With his 10th kill of the match, Kainoa Wade puts a bow on the Bows Big West regular season championship.
You know, Kainoa, it's not often that the Rainbow Warriors in the last 5-6 years have lost 2 in a row. And they lost to San Diego last week on Saturday night. And I just had a feeling that they were not going to lose 2 in a row. Come back here to their home crowd and not put on a show. And Charlie Wade's clapping for the fans right now as we speak.
Yeah, Hawaii, as you mentioned, wanting to bounce back, wanting to show that last week, while you definitely don't take away credit from UC San Diego, was also the result of some very unexpected circumstances that were presented to Charlie Wade and this team just prior to the start of that match. And so they wanted to, I think, come out here and show something, right? With an opportunity, obviously, to wear those shirts as best in the Big West here in 2026. And they did just that.
You're right. It was tough to lose half the starting lineup like they did Saturday night, but also UC San Diego played really well, maybe their best game of the year.
All right, we're going to give way to the PA, the public address announcer here at Banco Arena at Stan Sheriff Center for a championship presentation.
Volleyball fans, your attention please. With tonight's victory, our Rainbow Warriors have clinched at least a share of the Big West regular season title and the #1 seed in next week's Big West Championship Tournament in Irvine, California. This marks the 3rd regular season conference title in program history. Congratulations.
Oh, a pretty awesome scene. The image of this Hawaii team donning the championship shirts, posing for championship picture. Still much work to be done, but they can say that here in 2026, CMAC, undoubtedly, they are the best in the Big West in the regular season.
Yeah, they put on quite a show, especially how they played on the road, beating Long Beach on the road, beating Irvine on the road, the 2 other top teams. That's pretty special to have that kind of record on the road.
Bank of Hawaii presents the players of the match. Let's check it out. For CSUN, Jalen Phillips, 10 kills, hit 143. Also recorded a dig, and Tread Rosenthal feeling much better this week as compared to Saturday of last weekend. 27 assists, 4 kills. How about 7 blocks, 6 digs, and a service ace? Hawaii recorded 8 service aces as a squad here on what was a Big West regular season crowning evening in Manoa. We are awaiting an opportunity to chat with head coach Charlie Wade. Charlie is always thinking about product placement, and so he wanted to run back towards the bench, and now he's ready to go. Scotty, you're with the championship headman, Charlie Wade.
Charlie, that's a really nice folder, by the way.
Yeah, I get a lot of compliments. Thank you.
Yeah,
But you need a shirt too, huh?
Yeah, and this, you guys you just won 5 minutes ago, and you already got the shirt. Yeah. Congratulations, another championship, #1 seed next week in the tournament. What does that mean to you?
It's huge, right? You know, you win the regular season in the Big West. Like I said, it's only the 3rd time for us, and it means you've got a chance to win a national championship, and that's certainly what we strive for. Super appreciative of the crowd coming out here tonight. Unbelievable crowd. And the guys responded really good. Pretty good offensive effort and really good defensive effort. 20 digs after 2 sets, like 11.5 blocks. Really dialed in defensively. It's good to see.
We didn't see Christian tonight. You went with the Kainoa. What was the reasoning behind that?
Yeah, a little load management, you know, and like I said, it ain't depth unless you use it, and just trying to get some run out there. Travell's available. It could have gone, but, you know, OPEC came up big with 6 blocks and just, you know, try to keep everybody here, you know, engaged going down the stretch, and we're going to need all of them to win a championship.
All right, tomorrow night, senior night, 1 more to go.
Right on. Let's keep it going.
All right, thanks, Coach. Congratulations.
A lot.
Good on.
Thanks a lot, Scotty. Yeah, tomorrow night will be senior night as we update the Big West volleyball standings. Hawaii alone at the top right now, 8-1. They can lock up sole possession of the regular season title. They still win the top seed next week in Irvine by way of the tiebreakers, having swept everybody else aside from UC San Diego. If they are to win tomorrow night, though, that would be unequivocal, and so Hawaii looking to do that. And obviously you want to end on a winning note just for the momentum that it perhaps would provide as you get ready for the tournament in Irvine. CMAC championship crowning Friday evening in Manoa. I'll give you the last thought here.
I was really impressed with their defense tonight, and their serving was pretty good as well. They just seem to be playing a much more efficient kind of a style, like we saw early on in their series against Irvine and against Long Beach State. And tonight they were returning to better shot selection. I thought Tread had better set location tonight. I thought he did a great job of calling his own number when necessary. it looked like the team that we were used to early on in the season, it looked like they also wanted to put on a show for the fans, and they did not want to lose 2 in a row. You could see with determination in their eyes from the moment they walked in the gym.
10 kills for Kainoa Wade, hit .421 with 6 digs. How about Adrian Rohr tonight? Hit .312, 9 kills, 5 digs, a couple of aces. It was all working for all involved for the Rainbow Warriors tonight. Don't forget about the post-game show. They're going to break down tonight's championship effort from the Bows. But for Chris McLaughlin, I'm Kanoa Leahy. Until next time, everybody,